Okay. Time to get this show on the road. Hello, everybody. This is Dice Bag, artist, game designer, world builder, and occasional Vtuber. Guess what we're doing today, huh? Can you guess? Ipsum Lorem, can you guess what we're doing today? Oh, well, I don't know, Dice Bag. Is it perhaps the thing we do every week? Trying to finish Crytures. Yeah, it might be that. We're not gonna finish it today, though. We're gonna finish some art, though. Hopefully. Hopefully. Last time it took quite a while, but this time I think the piece is a little more simple. Not as much going on. So maybe this one will be a little quicker. And then if we're lucky, we can do some character designs like I wanted to do last time. Because I have been figuring that since we have the rabble mechanic for like the random enemies and stuff, the unnamed nobodies of the world, that would be a good chance, a good way to... How am I trying to say this? A good thing that we could apply to the concept of like followers or hirelings and stuff like that. So I wanted to make more friendly rabble. And I've been working on that a bit this week. Also need to work on dungeon design, because that's a thing that I still haven't really gotten all of it fleshed out yet. Like, it's in my head, but I need to put it on paper. I'm probably going to be trying to do that this week. I've been trying to post on Twitter more. That's not difficult, but
Shern
I have
Gaming
to try
says,
and remember to do it.
Hi.
Hello, Shern. How's it going? Over here working on some art for my tabletop RPG.
Shern Gaming says, it's going good, just working on my Pokemon game.
You too, huh? And just cleaning up some line art before I go on to start coloring this baby. Also, the cat's eyes here are not looking in the right direction. We gotta fix that up real quick.
Shern Gaming says, yeah, LOL, although it's a video game rather than a TTRPG, LOL.
As is often the case. Bit of a different design world between the two. Let's see. Alright, got it. And going with the TTRPG definitely had me making some compromises, but I was able to get started on it a lot sooner than if I took the time to learn coding and a game engine and all that. And I've always been interested in tabletop game design anyways. I like how heavy the mechanics play into games like this. Always feels a little more in your face, so they matter more. One of those things I actually had to compromise on was like the concept of collectability, which is something I always I always cared a lot about with like monster collecting games. I just like collecting things, man. But tabletop RPGs, it's a lot more freeform. You don't really have a way to like enforce scarcity unless you just really apply rules and stuff, which is something I'm kind of trying to do, but you know, people are gonna play it how they play it. Alright, I think we're good. Let's get up the character references. And throw some colors on this thing. Alright. We got quite a few creatures in this one too. Let's see. We got Noctilus. We got Psykit. We got Psylim. Lots of psionic ones in this piece here. Alright, we'll keep those over here. Okie dokie. Time to throw on the colors. Whoops, we need another layer. There we go. Also, I forgot to draw on her fingerless gloves. There we go. Now we're good. So are you doing the art for your game, Shern, or you have other sources for the artwork? I'm a very gotta do things myself to do them right kind of guy. So here we are. What's going on here? There should probably be a line for the leg there. Okay, now I could have sworn I added a new layer to put this stuff on, but apparently not. Alright. Got the trim on there. Had it on the belt. The hair, the neck. The amulet. Amulet's got purple eyes though, so we should carve out the middle of this. There we go. Well, I'm good. I didn't think I'd be able to get that precise of a click on such a small spot. And I'm drawing on the wrong layer again. As we do as digital artists. Get the shape there and the buckle. Yeah. Alright. Catherine is all drawn up. Now we gotta move on to Noctilus over here. He's much more simple, thankfully. I really wanted to do a piece like this, partly just because I wanted to show how Noctilus moves around on the ground. Because I always envisioned him like, when he's not flying, he'd have his wings folded down like a cape. As you can see. Of course, in the actual rules, he can be pretty useful for scouting and stuff like that because he has telepathy. He can just communicate back and forth with his conjurer whenever, from any distance.
Adam SH8BF says, kind of like Big Chill from Ben 10.
Hello, Adam. I don't really know Big Chill. I'm not a big Ben 10 guy. But if that's what Big Chill does, then I guess so. But one of the design parameters I have for creatures is that I try to make every creature have some kind of use outside of combat. That way they're more like a member of your party rather than just a battle pet that you pull out whenever you need to fight something. Which is something I feel like Pokemon has been not doing very well in recent iterations. They've never been particularly great at it, but the whole concept of the HMs were kind of there to do that, I feel like. And they basically just turned that whole idea into something really mundane, I guess. Like, you finally get some free-roaming Pokemon games, or anything in, like, 3D, and all of a sudden now, like, no, actually you can't ride your Pokemon. You have to have, like, a specific somebody else's Pokemon that you have to summon in order to ride it around, which kind of defeats the point. It just doesn't feel as good riding somebody else's Pokemon as it would your own. Alright, now this guy. Wait a second. He has pink limbs. What am I doing? So how's it going with you, Adam? Let's see. The palm here is also purple. Oh boy, my assistant patron did not realize that this was supposed to be round. I had to correct that. Let's see. Alright, the rest of the legs.
Adam SH8BF says, just working on some stuff.
Some stuff? Anything you want to share with the class? I forget, are you an artist too? I feel like a lot of the time art streams really attract other artists. It's hard to keep track of everybody when you don't have
Adam
a
SH8BF
consistent...
says, no.
No, okay. But yeah, hard to keep track of what everybody does when you don't have a consistent group hanging out every single week.
Adam SH8BF says, yup.
Alright, that's a little better.
Ponyboy Horse says, "This is the crystal in which we will trap the women."
Ponyboy, welcome. Are we trapping women in crystals now? I don't think that'll work. That's how binding crystals work, Ponyboy. Let's see.
Ponyboy Horse says, "Yes, women must be contained to the crystals." Ponyboy Horse says, "It is for their own good." Adam SH8BF says, "YouTube has a large delay in the chat. No, I do not want to share. Yes, I am an artist."
Okay, I figured something like that because after your last two chats coming in like quick succession, I was like, huh, what's what? But yeah, dang old YouTube. I'd suggest that you come to Twitch, but I don't know if I like Twitch any better. Kinda hate all the streaming places, not gonna lie. They all have stupid flaws that they really shouldn't have. I'm kind of procrastinating here. I was thinking I should add some kind of details to the ruins that would like what do you even call that? Give it some character, because there's like specific civilizations I'm working on for the setting. But I haven't really decided what they should look like yet. I'm not sure if I want to pin myself down to one at the moment. We might just make this kind of a generic thing. Whoops, wrong layer. That's like the third time this stream already. I've drawn on the wrong layer. We're doing the artist thing all the time now. Alright, I think we're good to start the shading. Let's see, what kind of color do we want to use for the shading? That's red. That's purple. Not a whole lot of difference, to be honest. I feel like red just doesn't make sense in this. Let's try blue. That's probably not gonna work. Blue on blue, probably not the best. Alright, let's just fill this entire page with it, and then we'll work subtractively as I like to do. And hopefully that doesn't come back and bite me in the butt. I think most of this will be in shadow to begin with, so we should be good. Maybe even more in the shadows here.
Ponyboy Horse says. Dicebag fact, if you invite Dicebag to your Minecraft server, he will dump lava over all your buildings and dump your diamonds into the lava.
Now that is vile slander, Ponyboy. I am not a fan of griefing in Minecraft. That's just mean-spirited. Getting stuff in Minecraft takes way too long to be griefing people. That's like a real-life property crime right there. Ought to chop people's hands off for griefing in Minecraft. In real life, not in Minecraft even. I saw one of the big things going around on Twitter right now is the so-called AI social media website, I guess it is. But it's basically just Reddit for people's AI agents. And it's freaking annoying. Because if you've used AI like in any serious capacity, you know it just makes shit up all the time. And yet people are like, oh no, this AI doxed its user. And it's like, dude, it's made up. It didn't dox its user. It just made shit up because it's mimicking what Redditors do. I wonder how long we're going to be hearing about that. You know what? I feel like this leg not quite right. Or perhaps it is. Or at least close enough. It's something. It's something, guys. Of the things that it could be, it is one of them. Alright. Let's see. Is any of Psychic actually going to be visible or in light? Probably not, but I feel like we should put a little bit of light on him nonetheless.
Zero Festiva Zero says. Plaps.
Hello, Festivo, with your plaps and whatnot. How's it going? I guess there is a plappable thing in this one this time. Not that I'm encouraging it or anything. What is this? Alright, we need to increase the tolerance on the fill tool here. Also, it'd help if I was on the right setting.
Zero Festiva Zero says. Sticky creatures.
Creatures? I thought you were talking about the female. Creatures are not for plapping.
Zero Festiva Zero says. Sticky women.
Okay, that's more like it. We can handle that. How's it looking, boys? Does it look like I'm on the right track here? I'll take that as a yes. I suppose. Let's add some shadow here. I need some more on the arm here. Give it a little depth. And on Psykit. Now I really need to do more playtesting with the game at this point. I've got a lot of systems made up that have not fully been tested. Maybe need to bring back the solo campaign. Of course, Patty was saying that he should be available this month. So maybe we can get the sandbox campaign started back up. Hopefully. Alright, that's looking more depthy. Now I just need to add some to this guy. We'll be able to move on to highlights, I think. One of these days I'm gonna have to get back into writing the character descriptions for my NPCs and whatnot. Kinda got burnt out on it a little bit, but can't just leave it empty. Of course, I'm still trying to figure out exactly how much of the other stuff I need to include in the first release, because I'm thinking that it might be best to kind of give kind of a pared down type of rules for like dungeon generation compared to like the ultimate goal, because that's going to be fairly in-depth. And I think that might call for like its own supplements and stuff. So we might be doing some really basic rules when it comes to dungeon generation in the first release. Wait a second. I didn't put the hex in the chest. We gotta fix that. Let's see, do I have a hex tool? Doesn't really look like it. We have a polygon. There we go. Alright, now we just need to put this in perspective. And let's make the center point. Like so. Alright, now we can just draw in the corners here. And that should be a different color too. Not entirely sure if that's the right color though. You know what we can do though? We can open up the original file and take a good look. Let's see. Here it is. Alright, let's get rid of that. Okay, it is a darker color. That's what it looked like, but I felt like it was wrong. Why would I have another color on there when he's a dual colored color scheme? But that is how he is. Also, I think it needs to be bigger. So let's grab this and the line art here and we'll... Wait a second. We got 2 layers of line art. That's better. Yeah, we need more shading on this part here. That doesn't look so flat. And some over here too. Over here, let's put the details in Psychit's eyes. While I'm thinking about it before I forget. Yeah. Really need to buckle down on this project, honestly. I've got so many other things I want to do with Crytures. And I'm kind of at a point where I can't do any of the fun stuff unless I get like the basic stuff out of the way. Because everything else relies on a game like actually being finished and ready for extra content. All the world building and stuff that I really like to do is kind of on the back burner for now. Well, except for the world building that I still need to do for the main parts. Because I still haven't finished all of that. Which is something else I need to buckle down and get on. Of course, a lot of it is kind of done, quote unquote. It's just not in a format that's accessible for other people. And that's the part that really sucks working on. I've got all my Google Docs and stuff with all the information on it, but then I have to actually put it somewhere that people can get in a way that's easy for people to understand. Not all of it can go straight on the website because we do want to have like an actual product that people can buy, and most of that's going to be like the Dungeon Master side of things, which, as it turns out, is where most of the lore is going to be. Most of the lore and the procedural generation and all that jazz. You know, the fun stuff. And the stuff that lets you play the game solo. because that's a thing that I actually care about, since I personally am not a guy who has access to all that many people who really want to play tabletop RPGs at the drop of a hat. So having easy to handle solo play is kind of a big goal. And of course, most of that's going to be revolving around the procedural generation. Because otherwise you're just making stuff up more so than playing a game, if you don't have rules. Like I was saying earlier in the stream, like that's one of the things I wanted to really double down on with the design, because the whole concept of like collectible creatures kind of requires some kind of scarcity to the creatures themselves. And if you can't do that, unless you have like the specific rules detailing when and what shows up and how you get things, I think we might be ready for the highlights now. Alright, let's get ourselves a new layer. Let's see, maybe we should use like a slightly saturated color for the highlights. Not gonna show up a whole lot as the color, but a little subtlety goes a long way sometimes. It is some reflected light there. We probably won't put much in the way of highlights on Psychic, since he's basically out in the shadow for the most part. Really, there's not a whole lot to highlight in general because of how much is in shadow. Getting the highlights on geometric shapes is always kind of awkward. When they're kind of like flat, so it's like, This whole side probably should be in highlight, but do I really want to have the entire thing there? Sometimes the answer is yes. But usually I'm just not down to clown with it as much as I probably should be. I'm just kind of guessing right now. This is the time for me to just do what I feel looks right. And then we'll see how accurate I am when it's done. I had this dream today while I was taking a nap. And I realized, like, I don't seem to have like those late for class dreams anymore. They've been replaced by like streaming scuff nightmares. Because I was like, I was playing a game, like a co-op game with some other people, and my microphone wouldn't work. Alright, my microphone wasn't even like plugged in. And we played a whole match without my microphone plugged in, and I was like, oh no, they can't hear what I'm saying. And so I tried to plug in the microphone, and like it wouldn't work. Wait a second. Okay, never mind. But yeah, the microphone wouldn't work, and I was freaking out. Because they were like, oh, where's Dice Bag? Why isn't he talking? And so I was gonna try and message them on Discord, and Discord wasn't open. I was continued to be freaking out. I was like, oh man, I need to hurry. Why won't Discord open? Oh, I know. I'll open Discord on my phone and use that. And then guess what happened? Discord wouldn't open on my phone either. Surprise, surprise. And then I woke up. I don't remember my dreams often, so I went and like wrote that one down before I did anything else. I'd like to get more into writing down my dreams, but I always slack off on it because I'm usually on a pretty tight sleep schedule. Don't always have time to like wake up and stop and think about my dream and write down what happened. Usually I gotta get to work like right away. I got like 5 minutes before I need to leave for work after I woke up. I just throw my pants on and grab my stuff and walk out the door. Okay, what's going on? Okay, there's no highlights on here. I just forgot to put it here. But anyways, we're on to the softening section. The boring part. Some of these things are so small that it's kind of like, what's the point even of doing it? But then, it doesn't even take a second still. Why not, I guess. I'll give it a little more there. You know what? We should probably put some light in Noctilus's eyes right here. And we'll make that stand out more on another layer. We'll add like a glow layer and whatnot. But not yet. That's more for the end. Gotta get this stuff over here. And these bits, I feel like I've been here already, and I just skipped all this. Maybe it was, I'm just thinking of when I was doing the highlights. Probably. There's some more. I'm on the hunt for things I miss now. Oh, the tail. Okay, last shadow layer, the big ones. that might be it. You know what? Whoops, not that one. Let's soften this up even more. Okie dokie. Now we can kind of get the details in here. Let's see. Whoops. Let's turn the opacity all the way back up here. Get the light areas in the background there. I'm really not sure what we need to do with all this space though. I was thinking that these kind of ruins that we're in would kind of feature hexagon shapes pretty prominently, but I'm not sure if I want that to be like... Well, for one thing, hexagons are kind of annoying to draw. But it's also kind of like, how do I align them? Might just kind of give a bit of an impression.
Through the shadows we tread with care. Conjurers unite, we're well aware. In the heart of them all lies grim despair. Eldritch fear makes us all beware. Mystic runes glow in the midnight air. We chant our spells with fiery flare.
From this angle, it probably should be angled in the other direction.
In the abyss, our courage is found. Light the torches, we'll find our way. No evil force will make us sway. Together we rise again.
I really need to get better at painting architecture and stuff. I can do like the Bob Ross scenery and whatnot pretty well. Got a good handle on that.
Silent whispers from the ancient past.
But once we need geometry, then it's kind of like, ugh.
We hold fast to magic.
A little bit of a shadow there.
Or sorcery summoned ever fast. Eerie winds howl like banshees cry. Spirits linger and the demons fly.
Actually, most of this should be in shadow anyways.
So high, through the darkness we'll defy. Chalice raised with sacred light, banish all beyond our sight. In unity we fight the blight, guardians of the endless night.
And let's use this to kind of highlight one side of the columns. Perhaps that's what they are. Might actually be a good idea to actually put some line art on it, just to drive home that there's a structure to it. And hopefully this doesn't make it look worse.
Chained by stone, the tomb unfurls, whispers deep from forgotten worlds. Hands of power, old and grim, secrets stir in the shadows hymn. Scrolls unravel, time does scream. Empires crumble, truth supreme. Man's ambition, a flame untamed. In the dark, their sins are claimed. The work of man, their pride, their bane. Crafting gods through skill and pain.
I'll just do it real rough since it's supposed to be kind of painterly anyways.
Hearts beat black. From dust they rise, they must attack. The work of man, their pride, their bane. Crafting gods through skill and pain. Machines awaken, their hearts beat black. From dust they rise, they must attack. Here's that groan, the pulse of might. Furnaces blaze in eternal night. Power forged, yet hearts are damned. This ancient curse, the work of man.
Now let's see.
Blinded by their bold desire, mortals sought to harness fire, but fire burns and shadows spread. Among their marvels, none were spared. The work of man, their pride, their bane. Crafting gods through skill and pain. Machines awaken, their hearts beat black. From
I feel like
rise, they must attack.
the characters just don't stand out enough on this.
rests, the path is set. A conjurer's oath, no chance to regret. Vivid veil where the shadows gleam, under the rule of a fairy's dream.
Maybe we just need like a light source
Your gaze I feel, a throne of leaves
to kind of tie this together. So let's see.
bound by thorns, the forest stirs, green flames burn, your magic burns.
What am I doing? Lower the hardness here. And do like so. We'll kind of highlight this guy here.
The long since dead, arcane runes in trails unfold, veins of emerald, secrets untold. Oath of the conjurer, forged in fire, through the glades where mortals tire. Dare I brave the verdant king's might, a lord of wonders, veiled in night.
And like so, like it's on the outside and we got moonlight shining in.
Yet I march, I draw near an empire lush, roots so
I just noticed I did not soften the edges on this part of the face.
shall keep.
Let's do that real quick. Alright.
Winding streams with laughter laced, the valley braced.
You know what we could do
Ancient grace, yet cunning
is throw in like some actual light sources here.
the throng.
I'm thinking, what if they had like
Call the rhythm, a song.
glowing thingamajigs on the walls? Whoop. We want this dark. Why is this? Oh, it's on the wrong layer. It's on the same layer as the glowy things. The cool glowy thing. I'll put this like so, so it'll have like a... So it's kind of like a protrusion. Let's merge those. Come on, CSP, do your autosave thing. Yeah, something like that. Actually, I feel like this should just go all the way in here. And that should kind of give us like some structure. We're gonna have to change the geometry of the walls a little bit. Just a tad. All right. Whoops, not that. What's going on? Okay, make new layer. Clipping mask. Now we do this. In fact, let's put this all in its own folder so we can copy and paste. And then we'll add I forgot what color I was using for the light. I guess it should be a different color anyways because it is pink. So let's go ahead and use that. Make it a glow layer.
Through woods of shadow, damp and deep, a conjurer's vow they swore to keep. The spider's brood, they weave their lies beneath the moon's accusing eye. Oh, pack of eight-legged blights, so grim by staff and chant they'll silence them.
We don't need no guide. What is this?
Calls their fates entwined in questing hearts. Courage they'll find.
Alright. Now let's just take this.
Were threadbare, their souls were torn through failure's ash, their mission born. Spells on lips and lanterns low, they track the webs where shadows grow.
And we'll adjust these. as we need them.
Mandibles clicking, the nests they grow. A clattering choir where dread winds blow. Redeemers tread as quiet as mist through tangled woods of venomous twist. Oh, pack of eight-legged blights so grim, by staff and chant they'll silence them, for redemption calls their fates entwined in questing hearts. Courage they'll
I
find.
feel like we need to increase the
Each strike of
glow from these
fire,
things.
each rune etched proud, each cry for hope, each
Let's
vow
go with like a full
they
50%.
told the darkness from its well, where spiders brood and nightmares dwell.
Busket says, howdy dice bag.
Biscuit, how's it going?
Oh, pack of eight-legged
We're working on some more art for my game here.
by staff and chant they'll silence them, for redemption
I recently
calls their fates entwined
added some stealth mechanics, so we're
hearts.
working on
Courage they'll
some
find.
portrayals of such a thing. I think now's a good time to start adding the rim lighting and stuff.
Busket says, I'm well. Hope you are too. I never get tired of watching your art take shape.
That's good to hear. On all counts. I was not entirely sure how or what I should do for the background on this thing, but I think I've got it more or less figured out at this point. We'll see if I like it in the morning. There's always the question if the fresh set of eyes still likes it. Then it's good to go. Sometimes I end the stream and I'm like, ooh, I should have done this. There's always something. It's never perfect. There. There we go. That's better. The sides of this thing should probably be highlighted too. And I haven't even added color to the line art yet, or to the face. I'm getting way ahead of myself with everything else. You know what? The line art is kind of bugging me now that I'm thinking about it. We need to color that. Because otherwise, I'm not sure if the highlights are gonna look good if they're just on black. Let's see. Okay, I got too many tabs in my other one. There it is. Let's get this. We'll see how that looks for the lines. That's a little more subtle. Let's go ahead and do that on the face lines too. There we go. Ooh, I don't like drawing curves. Let's get some on the legs too. And the hips here. We'll probably want to add a little bit of a light source behind our heroes here to kind of justify the rim lighting on the back of them. Let's see, where is that thing? There it is. We'll copy and paste that on up here. Then we'll have to adjust the scenery here. To match the geometry of that thing. Let's see, where is the line art? Okay, that's the one. Now, I feel like this should probably not be so out there. Let's see, where is that? Here? On this layer? There we go. I have messed with the way I was doing things before, and it's throwing me off now. Alright, that's probably good for that. But let's color that line art like we do with the others, so it blends in a little better. Also, this thing needs to actually finish its geometry here. And color that in. It really needs like some more color in this area to show that it's... Actually, hold on. Oh, that's what I thought. Yeah, we're gonna have to redo that glow, because it is cut off. Let's see. Like that. And down here, I think we're just gonna kinda Okay, that's not working. What have I done? Right. It's a clipping mask. I don't really need it to be a clipping mask, so we can just kind of not draw outside the lines. Now we can do it. Alright, now one thing we're gonna need is the glow on the eyes of these things. Let's see. Probably this would be a good place to put it. Actually, let's get rid of this layer right here so we can actually see what we're doing.
Stream Control says, has rated this stream.
Stream Control. Hello, Stream Control. And Raiders. See, over on Rumble there. Let's see. That's
Ponyboy Horse says, stream control isn't real. It can't hurt you.
I hope it's real if it's rating me. Let's see. We're actually going to put this under the line art. Hello there, Stream Control. And Oliver's music. How's it going with you guys today? We are working on some art for my tabletop RPG here. Just kind of trying to put the finishing touches on this thing. Let's see, we're going to take that and put it on a separate layer so I can do some glow effects and stuff on it. Maybe not glow effects, let's see. Overlay, possibly. That's not looking so good, let's see. Maybe it should be glow, now that I see it. We'll put something separate on here. Right there in the middle. There we go. And now this guy needs some glowing eyes too. You know, it'd probably be better if I did this more additively. And we should probably have rim light on that as well. Where the hell is my rim light at? There it is. Add some right here. Yeah. And now the part I've been procrastinating on that I should have done before I even started the background. The freaking eyes. All right. We'll get the eyes in, then I think this one will be pretty much done. Then maybe we can do some character designs. Whoops. Alright, let's add a highlight here. And then we can put the pupils in. And then we'll shade it. In fact, most of it will probably be in shadow. Alright, let's... What am I looking for? Multiply layer, that's what we want. And then add a little bit of highlight on this side.
Ponyboy Horse says, Dice Bag fact, Dice Bag will hack your World of Warcraft account, send all your money to his account and drop all your items.
Ponyboy, I haven't played World of Warcraft in years. Back in the day, every time I tried to play WoW, I tended to like get up to around level 40 or 50 and then I'd get bored. Never could get too deep into it. Probably because it was very focused on co-op, and I was not particularly interested in playing with other people. So raids, dungeons, wouldn't be doing those.
Ponyboy Horse says. Dicebag fact, Dicebag was a white male human warrior in Warcraft.
Quite the opposite. I think my main character was like a female Draenei paladin. Partly because they were better at soloing things. Being a little tanky with some self-heal. Also, Draenei chicks are hot.
Ponyboy Horse says. I was a dwarf hunter named Igory cause I like guns.
That tracks. I think I tried a dwarf hunter, but it wasn't like my main thing. Well, maybe I did more with it than I remember. Memories are coming back to me. Might have gotten a little further with that guy than I thought. Of course, going further with him means like maybe I brought him up to level 30 or something.
Horse says.
For me.
Speaking of guns, I am getting custom pistol grips with Sherman on them Monday for my 1911.
Ah. Interesting. Gotta get that custom merch. Like all the Crytures stuff I have. Let's see. I feel like since we've got a glow layer on one side, we should have like a multiply layer on the other. In the other corner where the shadows are. In the land of Mordor. Something like that. I'm thinking this part here looks a little too... Oh, that's not the right layer. Again. Looks a little too bare. Okay, get back to the not soft brush, please. There we go, that's a little better. So we can probably give it a little shadow here. Yeah. In fact, let's go ahead and... Whoops. Let's go back to the soft brush. Give it a little shadow up in here too. Alright, what do we think, guys? Does it stand out well enough? Main thing I'm worried about with this piece is that things just blend together too much, like the colors are too much the same. I'm looking at it on my other screen right now.
Ponyboy Horse says, those thighs sure stand out, hell yeah.
I guess that's the main thing we're worried about, huh? Yeah, I don't think it's particularly bad. Maybe we'll just leave it as is, and if I look at it in the morning and don't like it, maybe then we'll change something. But for now, let's call this one done, and we'll play around with some character designs for Patron to line later. You know, looking at it on the other screen, I feel like the geometry of the background comes out a little better.
Ponyboy
Which is not
Horse
something I
says,
really expected.
is this girl single?
Yes. She's not really a tomboy, though. Though she do have short hair, as you like. Which might be the only thing you actually care about. I don't know. It just seems like that's a thing. Lots of people are saying it, but I wouldn't know myself.
Ponyboy Horse says, does she want to go on a date? We can go somewhere expensive, like McDonald's.
They don't have McDonald's in the Crytures world. You'll have to find somewhere else. Let's see. What else do we need to actually draw here?
Ponyboy Horse says, then she'll surely love a double quarter pounder and 10 PC McNuggets.
Maybe. I guess you'll just have to play the game and see how it plays out, right? I'm bringing up my character sheets over here to see which things I need to do. Let's see, what does the League of Magi still need? We got the Delver, we got the Naturalist, we got possibly a Wizard. Alright. I'm thinking I'm thinking we're gonna use this character design to represent the League of Magi wizards. I kind of want to have a male and female version of each. But then again, drawing waifus is much better on stream than drawing the dude versions. So maybe we should make a female version of the Delver here. What do we think? Female Delver?
Ponyboy Horse says. People love waifus.
We do love waifus.
Ponyboy Horse says. Is that a cowboy?
He's more like an Indiana Jones kind of guy. Let's see. Let's make this League Delver.
Ponyboy Horse says.
F.
We need cowboy faction.
Cowboy faction. We'll put him off to the side here for our reference. And you know what? Let's close all these on the side. We don't need them anymore. Get a little extra space. Get all my brushes reset. Alright. Black. Get a head here. Make sure it's the right size. Not sure what kind of pose I want to put her in at the moment. We'll figure that out as we go. Actually, I'm thinking about it now. I think we want her looking off in this direction. Wait a second. I need to change that pose up because it's basically the same as the other one. Eh. I don't like this whole part here.
Through the shadows we tread with care. Conjurers unite, we're well aware. In the heart of them all lies grim despair.
Nope, don't like it.
Eldritch fear makes us all beware. Mystic runes glow in the midnight air.
Let's flip it.
We chant our spells with fiery flare. Echoes of darkness all around. In the abyss, our courage is found. Light the torches, we'll find our way. No evil force will make us sway. Together we rise again.
Well, there's something like this.
Ponyboy Horse says,
Actually, no.
is this a flat-chested waifu?
We hold
Wasn't planning on it being.
silent whispers from the ancient past.
Ponyboy Horse says, do you have any flat-chested waifus? You need to meet a quota.
I don't know about that.
Magic unsurpassed.
I don't think I have any total flatties, but there are some smaller ones in there.
Eerie winds howl like banshees cry. Spirits linger and the demons fly.
Ponyboy Horse says, you need to fill the quota chop chop.
Nah.
Darkness will defy. Chalice raised with sacred light, banish all beyond our sight. In unity we fight the blight, guardians of the endless night.
Ponyboy Horse says, take my word for it, I know what the people want. Busket says, that sounds like the realm of commission work.
Let's see.
Ponyboy Horse says, damn you Automod.
What are you saying over there, Pony Boy?
Ponyboy Horse says, want let a white boy get a little motion.
Yeah, I don't do commissions because I got other shit to do. Been there, done that. I'd rather draw my own stuff. Also, I think we need to flip this again. I can't decide, guys.
Ponyboy Horse says, Dear Dicebag, please draw Optimus Prime farting on a cake as a commission.
No.
Ponyboy Horse says, 1984.
Oh man, I just don't like all of the angles that are an option to me. Uh-oh. I gotta deselect the head layer there. Forgot that was selected. Alright, let's see. That should be about the right size. And let's get some feet on this chick. Alright, that looks better. Trying real hard to make this not look like a pinup. Alright. Think we're ready to kind of put her outfit on
Ponyboy
there.
Horse says. Not flat enough. Ponyboy Horse says. 1984.
Well, Ponyboy, I guess you'll just have to go to your Chinese cartoon games. Alright, let's drop the opacity on those and we'll start drawing in details. feel like that's not working. Don't like it. Give her something more simple. Give her a little style on this thing. I've got certain parameters I need to fulfill on these to match the actual character stats. Namely, these characters are equipped with leather jackets as their armor. Let's see, how did I do it for the male? Okay. I've got the kind of clasp with the side there. I'm thinking we should give her just actual pants. Alright, how's this looking without the, Not bad, not bad. It's looking a little piratey, which is probably not a bad thing for like an adventurer style character in this type of setting.
Ponyboy Horse says, pirates are badass.
Right?
Ponyboy Horse says, the average life expectancy of a pirate was mid-30s.
Sounds about right. Sailing was tough back in those days. Before all the pillaging.
Most common causes of death amongst pirates was malnutrition, disease, and execution.
Yeah, I bet execution was a big one. One would hope so. Otherwise, the authorities would really need to step up their game. Drawing rope kind of sucks, guys. Bundling it all up like that. Kind of annoying.
Ponyboy Horse says, did you know that in Minecraft you can breed two bees together by feeding them flowers?
Yes, I did know that.
Ponyboy Horse says, this is in reference to real life, where to breed with a woman you need to feed her.
Let's see, we need a circle. Just a good old circle here. Close enough. Now we need another circle. One that's smaller than that. Alright, that's looking pretty good. Actually, before I do the whole head, we should probably figure out what her hair and stuff would look like.
Ponyboy Horse says. Short
Not
hair,
short.
obviously. Ponyboy
Not
Horse
this time,
says.
Ponyboy.
Long hair would get in the way.
We're gonna have it in a ponytail.
Ponyboy Horse says. Why do you hate me?
It's a conflict of visions, Ponyboy. You like short hair, I like long hair. These two things do not mix. We can't compromise. Compromising would just leave both of us unhappy.
Ponyboy Horse says. If you had a poll about hair preference in the Discord, I bet there would be more short hair lovers than you think.
Yeah, 'cause you're like the only one who posts anything in the Discord.
Ponyboy Horse says. Don't doubt my game.
I know what happens in my own Discord. Nothing. He's gonna do it himself, I guess.
Ponyboy Horse says. Stop the poll, short hair is at 100%.
Of course it is. Well, thankfully I didn't listen to you, Ponyboy, because I'm liking how this is turning out.
Ponyboy Horse says. People should listen to me more, I contain wisdom of the ancients.
Yeah, well, where are the ancients now?
Ponyboy Horse says. In our hearts. Pathroot says. Hey Dice. V. /
Path! How's it going? Are you just working on a character design to end up the stream?
Ponyboy Horse says. Oh hey, for the third time today, Path. Pathroot says. Thinking of how to approach my project. V.
Your project?
Pathroot says. Hey Tom/Pony. V.
What project is this? Are we just talking about your VTubing? Or you got something else up your sleeve now?
Pathroot says. Nah, it's a different project. V.
I think I saw on Twitter that you got your background done. How'd that turn out?
Pathroot says. Yee, it's nice. V. V.
Good. Let's see, what are we gonna do for this chick space?
Ponyboy Horse says. Give her freckles.
Freckles?
Ponyboy Horse says. Make her hair orange. Beloved Wang J67 Pi says. Viewers link LHKSJBJ3.
Oh, we got viewers. Not best viewers, not cheap viewers, just viewers. Took a moment. Dang it, I accidentally clicked the link.
Viewers.
Viewers? Where? Band? Whoop. Let's see, what did this guy look like?
Ponyboy Horse says. They must have run out of both the best and cheap ones. Should have bought in sooner. Link says. I've received 100 messages today with Restream chat. Pathroot says. Don't, might be a scam.
Might be. Of course it's a freaking scam.
Pathroot says. Yeet, true. Anyways, I'ma go nap. V.
Alright, Path, we'll see you around.
Pathroot says. Have a great time drawing, dice. B. Ponyboy Horse says. Later path.
We will indeed have a great time drawing. In fact, we're almost done with this one.
Ponyboy Horse says. How many gingers do you have? We also need to meet the ginger quota.
There's at least 2. There you go.
Ponyboy Horse says. Now are they orange or red-haired? It makes a difference.
I think we have some of both. Let's see, Amelie's pretty reddish in the hair. Chloe is very orange.
Ponyboy Horse says. Orange is the best ginger, but red ain't bad.
And Kindle, although she's not really going to be used in the first release. She lives somewhere else that I'm not going to get to yet. Let's see, the artisans are a little reddish haired.
Ponyboy Horse says. She looks like she lives in Spirit Halloween.
Which one?
Ponyboy Horse says. I guess all of them now you mention it.
All of them? Alright then. All right. Let's add a little bit of detail on these boots. Actually, this should probably be further back for what I'm going for. I feel like this part of the rod is just too big in general.
Ponyboy Horse says. That's what she said.
That is what she said. Alright. I think that might be it. Oh wait. Let's lengthen this a little bit. It looks a little too close to the other foot. Okay, I think we're done now. I think I better stop working on it. Otherwise I might never be done. Now let's see. I'm not seeing many viewers still hanging around, so we might just skip any raids and go ahead and call it quits.
Ponyboy Horse says. I see. Ponyboy Horse says. I am not viewer enough for you, am I?
Alright, Ponyboy, where do you want to go? If you can't go to a stream on your own.
Ponyboy Horse says, let's raid Bob Ross, he is doing art too.
Bob Ross? I'm not even following Bob Ross on Twitch.
Ponyboy Horse says, probably making happy little trees or something.
Let's see. Bob Ross.
Ponyboy Horse says, how can you not be following Bob Ross, you heathen?
I'm following him on YouTube, where I actually watch streams. You know, where ad blockers work. Alright, anyways. Here we'll start the raid. Bob Ross does not accept incoming raids. That's what it says, Ponyboy. We can't raid Bob Ross. Shame. Well, anyways. Thanks for hanging out.
Ponyboy Horse says, what the heck, man? Ponyboy Horse says,
I know, right? 1984. 1984. Bob Ross won't let me raid him.
Everyone hates me.
I don't hate you, Ponyboy. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for showing up and hanging out, being a little lively in the chat. Well, I'll see you next time. Bye!
Ponyboy Horse says, catch ya next time.